Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. So today we need to talk about Transaction Rollback. It is a brand new card that has just debuted in the OCG a little while ago in the Animation Chronicles series that they do here, so no real word on when we'll get it over here stateside, but it's a very powerful normal trap that obviously, as the guy who talks about lab a lot, we have to talk about here. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a normal trap that reads as follows. You pay half your life points, you target a normal trap in your opponent's graveyard, except Transaction Rollback. This effect becomes that normal trap's effect when that card is activated. If you're reading this and you're looking at the activation effect and going, this card doesn't seem that good, it's the second effect that we really care about. You can banish this card from your graveyard, pay half your life points, then target a normal trap in your graveyard, except Transaction Rollback. This effect becomes that normal trap's effect when that card is activated, and you can only use one Transaction Rollback effect per turn, and only once that turn. So if this card seems a bit funky, that's because it is, but it's an incredibly powerful normal trap activate card. Essentially, you can use it to use any normal trap that you can put in the graveyard, regardless of the activation requirements. Since it works like Verte Anaconda by copying the effect, it means that you don't have to meet the activation requirements for that card. Similar to how when you had normal summoned a monster, you could still use Verte to send Red Eyes Fusion to make Dragoon, because the way that copying effects works when it's activated means that you just have to use the effect that it's activated. Examples would be like you can use Epidemic Eradicator Virus without tributing a card. This means that you can just put Eradicator in the grave, put Transaction Rollback in the grave, banish Transaction Rollback, target Eradicator, and then Eradicator your opponent. Obviously, you have to get both in the grave, but the idea remains the same for things like a Ghost Meets Girl, a Maya Nui, whatever the frickin' Mayakashi card is. You know which one I'm talking about. This is the turn skip one. Same with something like say Harpy's Featherstorm. The way this card interacts with those cards means that you just have to activate Transaction Rollback. It'll apply the effect and subsequently put your opponent in a terrible position. What this does mean is that Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, is now a one-card way to get to any dumb floodgate thing, because you can send Transaction Rollback, then send the Floodgate on your opponent's turn, and then Floodgate them out of the game to turn skip them. So most likely Rip Beatrice is one very notable application for this card, but more importantly, we care about how it interacts with Labyrinth, and specifically Lady in particular. So with that, let's hop into the interesting part, which is how can we use this in Lab. So for this exercise, we will, assume that our opponent is going to Duster us. Obviously, you can never assume this, but the point of this is to demonstrate how you can interact with Duster. So we'll start by grabbing Lady, who is able to summon herself, and we'll set, our big welcome and our, copy of Eradicator, special Lady, of course. And from here, we'll assume that we get Dustered here. We'll flip big welcome, we'll chain Lady, of course, and we'll go grab Transaction Rollback. Obviously, you need to have another normal trap you want to activate here. You get Dustered, and now you have Transaction Rollback in the grave, with, multiple options to go through. If we want to go for Transaction Rollback for, say, a second Big Welcome, we can go for a second Big Welcome. If our Big Welcome gets ashed, we can put Transaction Rollback in the grave. If we get Dustered, etc., by, putting it in grave with, say, just, getting it into grave, we can use Big Welcome for a second time to, summon again. If we need to, we can use something like a Virus Trap to get rid of our opponent's board and their hand and the like. I think the potential for this card is very dependent on your opponent being able to remove your traps, as well as having answers like Ash Blossom. That's my 2 cents on Transaction Rollback. It's going to be a solid one-of. It's going to be a solid pitch for your furniture, but the ultimate application is just that it enables you to beat things that the deck can kind of already do, but other than that, it's just an extra way to trigger your dumb floodgates without paying the cost, something like an EEV or a deck dev or a full force. But that said, I still like this card. I think you should definitely play it as a one-off when it comes over in maybe December if we're lucky. We'll see what happens, but I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion on Transaction Rollback. I think it's a card. A lot of people have asked me about it, but my opinion is just use it to beat, Duster. But ultimately, just it's a card. That's what I have to say about it. I know you guys were looking for something more, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't fundamentally change Lab as a core deck. It changes more, dumb combo decks that can make Beatrice and use her for dumb bullshit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.